Hey guys, it's Herman here from SansMinds Magic, and welcome to the explanation for Shadeshift, an incredibly visual color change where it's not just your standard color change, it's actually a full deck color change, but not only does the deck change color, but the box changes colors as well, and it both happens in the blink of an eye. Now, as you already know, color changes are one of the most direct forms of magic because it transcends language barriers. You don't need to say anything. Just the visual itself is so impactful that it'll just guarantee jaws to be dropped by your spectators. So I actually want to first talk about the things that come with the DVD. Now, there are going to be a few things. One of them is being elastic thread. You're going to be provided with some elastic thread so you can make your gimmick. Second thing is a blank card, like so. Okay. Now, one side will have something, a back design, but it doesn't really matter what it is because it'll be hidden inside the box when you are making your gimmick, as long as one side is blank. Okay, and I'll explain why later as well. The other thing is a double back card. Okay, this will be a double back red card. So you can perform it with a red deck, and you'll know what this is used for later. But there are three things that come with the DVD so that you can perform the effect. Now, everything else will be easily obtainable, and we'll go over everything you need in the gimmick construction itself. And of course, we'll teach you how to make your very own gimmick so you can perform anytime you want. So that's all I want to say for now. Let's dive into the explanation for Shadeshift.
Magician's best friend.
Okay.
Playing cards.
Okay.
Point out your favorite finger.
Pointing finger.
Why am I not surprised? All right, it's okay, it's okay. We're gonna do that. Just touch any card you like. Just touch one. Touch one. This one, right? This one I'm gonna do. I want you to put both hands out. Just sandwich it. Don't move, all right?
I don't see it.
Don't see it yet. Okay. I want to turn around and show to all your friends.
Okay.
All right. And let me have the card box. All right. Very important. Until I turn back, have a look at the card and show to everybody. Remember the card.
Okay.
Very important. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just remember the card. Remember the card. Let me have the card. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put your card somewhere right in the middle here, okay? Guess what? I'm gonna change the color of your card. How about let's do something even better, okay? Keep your eyes on the entire deck right now. Don't let it go. 3, 2, 1.
Wow!
Even the card box changes the color. I see something right here. Oh, there's still one card. It's blue. I guess this is your card. Wait, come back. Wait, you guys are not colorblind, right? You can see this is a blue color.
Yeah.
It feels like blue color, touch it, right?
Yeah,
But it's different color than any other card, right? Both hands go out like this and put one over another one. This is what I do. Just drop a little bit red on top. Just drop a little bit red. Grab a little bit, drop over there. Turn that over, have a look. Turn that over, have a look. Turn that over.
So you just watched a live performance, and you're probably wondering how this is all done. I just want to quickly go over the secret of the gimmick itself, not through the entire routine. All that stuff is going to be taught in the handling, but I just want to quickly run over how the visual color change is done. So let's look at the culprit over here. This is the gimmick. So it's a flap card on top of the back design of the deck, or sorry, the deck box. So basically, when I peel this open like so, it's first blue. Now the next thing is this is actually gonna. Let me have this opened already. This will be opened already. And basically, there's a gimmick inside as well. Like this, when I pull it out. Okay? So that way, it looks like the deck and the box is blue right now. But actually, when I let go, this card, this top card, is the only card that's blue, and it will retract into the box. And then this flap will close, allowing it to change from blue to red. So two things are going to happen. This is going to retract, this is going to flip over. So check this out. I'm going to let go. As you can see, everything changes to red, both the box and the deck itself. Okay? So that's just a very quick run through in terms of the working of the gimmick. Now, this gimmick itself, there was that card that retracted in. Let me show you again, just like this. And then there's this flap card right over here. And there's a sticker, so there's no discrepancy when there's that visual change. So that's how the change looks itself to the spectator. And I just want to quickly run over what you're ending with. So your box looks like this, where it looks entirely red. So you can basically freely show this. And just to quickly talk about the gimmick again. So the first part is this card inside that retracts in. to reveal the red deck when you fan it, and also this flap card over here that you just open up. And of course the sticker is there to, match with this, so it looks like the box genuinely changed to red right after the visual color change. So that's it. That is basically the secret of the effect. And we'll be going over all the details in terms of how to execute this, your finger positioning, all the subtleties, all that good stuff, all that meaty stuff goes into the handling section. And not only can you perform this as an opener, you can also perform this as a full routine, which we will go over in the explanation itself as well. And yeah, it's totally flexible in terms of where you want to take this. And let's get into how to make your very own gimmick. All right, so let's start building your gimmick. You're gonna need a few things, one of them being elastic thread. Next thing is a needle. Also a blank card with a blue back, as well as a random blue card. You're gonna need a red deck, including the box, and you're gonna need an X-Acto knife, double-sided tape, 3 more blue back random cards, doesn't matter what they are as long as they're blue back, and also a red card, doesn't matter what it is either as long as it's red back, and a pair of scissors. And you're also going to need 2 stickers from the card case, and make sure that when you're taking them off, an easier way is to use a hair dryer so that the adhesive kind of warms up a little bit, making it easier to peel it off the box itself. And then you just got to cut it so that it's around the same size for both of the stickers. And then you're pretty much good to go. You can put all this stuff aside for now. So the first thing you'll need to do is make the first part of your gimmick. You're going to need these things, the 2 blue backed cards, one of them being a blank card, the other one being a random one. And then you're also going to need to bring in your red box, and also your elastic thread and needle, because what you're going to do, you're going to thread the needle. So what you're going to do next is you're going to thread the needle with the elastic thread. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that your cards are aligned so that the blank side is on top like this, okay? And then what you'll do is flip them over around just like that. And you're going to poke 4 holes, okay? Now the 4 holes are going to be on each corner of the border over here. All 4 corners right there on the border. So start poking the holes. And as you can see, you can use the cutting mat to aid you in that. Push it all the way through. So those are 2 holes. And we'll do the other side as well. All right, got all 4 of your holes. And what we're going to do is start threading the needle through from behind, like so. Just like that. So it comes out from the back, like this. And you're going to go through the hole lengthwise on the other side. So now you have a piece of thread running through. Now you're going to go for the other hole over here, widthwise. And go to the other corner, just like that. And at this point, you can cut the remaining excess thread. So basically what you have here, you have the thread showing on both the length sides of the card. And then you're going to need to tie the 2 ends together in the following fashion. So 1 knot, like that. And then you do another knot. And you stretch it out in this manner, having your other fingers hold it in place. Your middle finger holding onto that first knot like that. And then you just seal off that knot. And why not do another knot as well, just to secure it in place, make sure it doesn't come undone. And then cut the excess thread. And there you have it. You're done threading the two cards together. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut a bit of a half moon shape just right over there. That way when you pull out the card, you'll automatically pull the bottom one. So you can just spread them out like this. So you're cutting the random card right over here, a half moon. Now it doesn't need to be the exact size as the half moon on the deck box, but just a little bit of, maybe even a little bit larger. So that ensures you won't pull the wrong card. Now you're going to take your double stick tape, and grab a lengthy amount, and you're going to apply it right there, near the half moon, just right underneath, just like that. Take another piece, do the exact same thing on the bottom portion. And you're going to open up your red box. You're going to take the card, you're going to slide it in just like that, with the deck inside. That way, you can press it down just like that. That way the gimmick that you have so far is going to stick to the inner side of the box, just like so. Now it will remain in place. This is what you should have so far. Your threaded card inside the card box. And when you take it out, it'll be taking out the blank card, as you can see. And it'll retract back into the box like so. Very nice. Once you have this, you can put it aside for now. So you're going to bring in the rest of the things. Here are 3 random blue back cards. And you're also going to need a red back card. You're going to need your knife and also double-sided tape. So you're going to begin with creating a guide card. And what you're going to need for that is one of the blue cards. Doesn't matter which one it is. You're going to fold it exactly in half. Just like that. Just end to end. So you have it exactly in half. You can even crease it so it has a nice little fold. Nice clean edge over there to use as a guide card. Then you'll need some double-sided tape. And just apply some to one of the sides. Just like that. You're going to bring in your other blue random card. You're going to stick your guide card on top. So it's flush to one end like that. Make sure that it is nice and flush. Here's what you're going to do next. You're going to bring in your knife. And you're going to cut right in half. Now, you're not going to cut all the way through. You're going to be cutting the first 2 layers of the card because there are 3 layers to a playing card. You're just going to basically score it and make sure that the top 2 layers. So don't cut all the way. So now there's an easy fold on this card right over here. You're going to bring in your red card this time and use the exact same guide card. Doing the exact same thing, you're going to place it flush to one edge so that you can score through the top 2 layers directly in the middle like so. You can remove the guide card, and this is what you should have so far with your red card and your blue card. So that leaves you with these scored cards. You're going to bring in your blue random card over here and double-sided tape. And what you're going to do now is you're going to put some double-sided tape on the face side of the red card, one half of it, like so. Just pretty close to the edge, just right over there. Place another one, just along the same half, along the edge. And what's going to happen now is you're going to stick these 2 cards together in the following fashion. Make sure that the edges are flush. And once they are, you're left with this. You're going to bring your double-sided tape again, and you're going to apply some onto the face side, like so, just on the red side. pretty close to the edge right over there. So after applying one piece of tape on that side, you're going to put it on the blue card, just like so. Just make sure the edges are nice and flush. Make sure they're nice and aligned. And then you press down to make sure that it is all in place. And this is what you have so far. You basically have a flap card that changes from blue to red. And once you have this, next thing you'll do is bring in your elastic thread. And of course your needle. So you can thread the needle. You're going to take your needle that has been threaded and you're going to poke some holes on those two corners right over there along the border. Just right there, the corner of the border. Poke it through all the way, through all the layers, just like so. Poke one more hole on the other side, right over here. All the way through. And once you have these two lovely holes, you're going to be threading them from this side right over here. So boom, all the way through. And then you're going to go through the other hole. And there you go. Once it's been threaded through, you can cut the excess just right over there. Make sure you do leave some room because you're going to be tying a knot. Of course, you want to move your needle out of the way. Safety first, guys. And then tie your knot. Of course, you want a double knot just to make sure that everything will stay in place. So you're holding everything together in place with your fingers. Just like that. You're going to hold it in place with your middle finger and just secure that knot. And do one more knot if you would like, just for that little safety, making sure it will not come undone. And like before, you're going to cut off the excess thread, leaving you with this. You now have a flap card that you can basically stretch out. You want to slowly stretch it out first, and once you let go, it'll change from blue to red. Now the first few tries, you want to slowly stretch it out a little bit to make sure that it won't snap on you, just like that. Just open and close a little bit. And there you have it. And that should be how your flap card looks like so far. Now the next thing you need to bring in are your two stickers. Now what you're going to do is you're going to apply one of the stickers just along the top edge in this following manner, right over here. Make sure it's nice and flush. And that's basically simulating the back of the card box, because you're going to be putting that on top later. But that's not the only sticker. The other one, you're going to reset into the blue position like this and put it on the top edge so it matches the red one you just put. Just like that, your two stickers are in place. So when you change the card box from blue to red, there's no discrepancy of the sticker. Now finally, you're going to want to put this on top of the box. How you're going to do that is, of course, your trusty double-sided tape. You're going to apply some double-sided tape on the face of this gimmick, just along the edges. Now make sure that when you're applying the tape, you're not putting it on the thread, otherwise that can cause some problems. Make sure there's some breathing room there. Once you have that, you're going to place it on the box in the appropriate manner, because you want the sticker to be on the side with the flap. So once you have that in place, just stick it all together. Make sure it's nice and secure. Place your entire deck into the box, so it helps you push the gimmick on top of the box, making sure it'll stay in place. And now you have a nice, solid gimmick. Of course, you want to work the flap card to make sure it's easy to execute, just like that. And you, of course, want to try out the other part of the gimmick that's inside the deck, like this. Now, right now, there are a few too many cards, so you're going to place a little bit of them away, so it's easier for you to snatch that inner gimmick. And once you let go, it beautifully changes from blue to red. So both parts of your gimmick are now done. Your gimmick is now finally complete, and you're basically ready to go into the preparation of the effect. All right, so you just finished doing some arts and craft. You're left with this beautiful gimmick that you're ready to perform with. Let's get into how to prepare yourself so you can perform anytime you wish. So if you take a look at the table, I have a few things. As you can see over here, I have the gimmick that you made on the red box. So there's a flap card, and there's also that card that retracts in there. And you have a red deck that matches the box. You're gonna need a force card, doesn't matter what it is. In this case, I'm just using the 4 of diamonds. You're also gonna need a red back that's back to back. Both sides are the back design, that's provided for you, remember? And we also have a blue deck to perform with, a 4 of diamonds that matches the force card from the red deck. I'm just flip them both over like that. And you also have a blue case. Now, all of this is what you need if you want to perform the full routine. If you don't want to perform the full routine, then you can just do this as an opener, and I'll brush over all of that after the full routine. But this is the preparation you need for the full thing that I'll be teaching you. In terms of the setup of the deck, you're going to need your 4 of diamonds, force card, facing down on top of the deck like this. And you're also going to need your double backer right over here on the very top. Okay. Now this entire unit goes into your card case like this. Okay. Now you'll notice that this deck is a little bit thin. That's because I took a few cards out, and you'll want to play around how many cards you want to actually take out, because I want the deck to easily fall out of the box and into my hand. See, if there's a full deck, then it wouldn't work because there's that gimmick inside, and it'll be too thick, and this will not be easy to fall into my hands. So just play around, see how many cards you want to take out. I just took out a few. So it's nice and loose, like that. And remember the deck orientation. Once it's in there like that, you can keep it open. And before you're ready to perform, you're going to put this into your pocket. Now I'm just going to put it into my back right pocket in this case. Okay, just this one over here, I'm going to move my phone away. I'm going to put it in my right pocket like this. Let me just move that away. Right over here. So this is where my red deck is, and it's facing up, as you can see. Easy to retrieve, and the deck will not fall out of the box. Okay. Now, if you're wearing a jacket, then you can put it in your right jacket pocket, but that's not necessary. Personally, if I was wearing a jacket, I would put it in my right jacket pocket, just so it's easier for me to access. But your front pocket is just fine. Your back pocket is fine as well. And you'll know why this is happening later in the handling section. So next thing you'll need to prepare is your blue deck. In terms of the orientation, you have a genuine blue deck, but you want the matching force card, the 4 of diamonds in this case, just on top, facing down. Okay, and this, of course, goes into your blue box, ready to rock and roll anytime you want to perform the trick. And this can go into any pocket, it could be on the table already, doesn't matter, because this is a normal deck that you'll be first introducing when you're ready to perform the effect. So that's the preparation, and once you have those decks in place, you're ready to basically go up to your victims and perform this effect whenever you wish. And yeah, that's it. Let's go into the handling. All right, here's the fun part. We get to learn the handling for Shadeshift. Right now, you're completely prepared to go ahead and slay with this awesome visual color change routine. So to recap in terms of preparation, what you have in each pocket is in your left pocket. In this case, in my left back pocket, I have my blue deck, completely normal, except I have the force card on top. I also have my gimmick deck on the right over here. So it's easy for me to do the switch later. So let's run over the routine. First, I'm gonna introduce my blue deck right over here. Okay. Now you can perform, honestly, any card trick you want, as long as you can force the 4 of diamonds in your favorite manner. Now in this case, I'm going to teach you a very basic force, and let's say that this is the only trick I'm going to do. I'm going to do it as a standalone piece because I think it deserves that powerful, special attention. And yeah, so right now, in terms of deck orientation, again, I have the 4 of diamonds on top. Okay, rest of the deck is just normal. A simple force. You're basically giving the illusion that they have a free choice. But what's going to happen is you're going to say, I want you to say stop as they riffle through the deck, or you can introduce that. All the cards are different, as you can see. It's a genuine normal deck, just picked up at Walmart, whatever. And then you're going to say, all right, I'm going to go through the cards like this, and I just want you to say stop, okay? Now, whenever they say stop, apparently you're going to pick up and push the card out to a random card that they say stop at. But what's really going to happen is you're going to ask them to say stop, do a swing cut, and then push that over to reveal that this is the 4 of diamonds, which is apparently the card that they stopped at. But it's actually, as you can see, the card that's on top. Now, with how fast things are going, this is actually a very deceiving force because people are thinking that you're just simply cutting the deck to the card that they say stopped at, and then you're showing it. So one more time, just slow it down a little bit. Say stop anytime, right there. Pick up everything. You're gonna pick up the top half with your index finger. You're gonna swing it over to your left hand. It's gonna receive it. You're gonna push it with the finger right over here. So it looks like it's the card that they say stopped at, and then you're gonna take this out, which is the 4 of diamonds. Now, at this point, when you take it out from the deck, you don't want to show them the card, or you don't want them to see the card yet, because you're going to have them hold on to it. Just say, so you're going to give this to them. You're going to ask them to hold on to the card. Don't look at it yet. And I'm going to tell you why. And you're going to take that blue box that maybe you put aside to someone to hold, or you can put it in your jacket pocket, but you're going to bring it back out, because what you're going to do is you're going to put this deck back into the card case, just like this. And you're going to say, hold on to the card right now. I don't want you to take a look at it, because I want to put the cards back in the box, so that's the only card that you need to focus on. Okay, I don't want this to be a distraction or anything. And just show, and when I turn my back around, because I don't want to see it, I want you to show it to all your friends. Okay, let's say you're performing to a group, they can show it to everyone, and that'll give you more than enough time to do the switch. Now, what's going to happen is you can do this bigger motion to kind of justify, like in terms of your hand action when you're saying, all right, just show it to anyone or show it to everyone, and your hand over here can already be going into your right pocket really casually, which is basically where you prepped your gimmick deck over here. Whether it's your jacket pocket, your front pocket, doesn't matter. But you're basically gonna say, all right, I want you guys to just show the card to everyone, and I'll just turn away. And once you turn away, that's when you're ready to do the switch. So that hand gesture, all right, I want you to show it to everyone, and I'll look away. And then they're busy right now showing it to everyone, making sure that everyone remembers the card. But in actuality, I'm just gonna show you a close-up in terms of what's gonna happen here. So your body is leaned away, so they're not gonna see anything. And they're thinking that, this is justified because you're trying to not look at the card, right? But what's gonna happen is this is gonna come out like this. You're gonna switch the deck out so that the blue deck is gonna go back into the pocket, leaving you with this red deck over here. And it may feel like a lot is going to happen because you're going to actually reset this as well, but really you have a lot of time to do all of this. You're doing a very simple switch when they're not looking, and you're also resetting the flap. Okay. Now one more time, I'm just going to run through it again to make sure that everything is crystal clear. Okay, starting from here, where they're holding onto the card, or it's on the table, doesn't matter. So at this point, you're going to say, I want you to show the card to everyone, and I'll just turn away so I don't see it. And then you're basically just doing the switch over here like that, and then opening this flap like so. And then you turn back around when you say, all right, did everyone see it? Perfect. Now it looks like your hand never moved from this position. Your left hand has been holding this card box the entire time with the deck inside. So it looks like there's no discrepancy, nothing's happened. Now, for those of you might feel this is a little bit bold because you're turning your back towards the spectator, just remember that this is totally justified because, of course, the spectator doesn't want you to see the card. So you're giving them this justified action where it's like, all right, I want you to make sure that I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to turn away and then go ahead and show it to all your friends. You got it? That's it. And then you proceed with the rest of your presentation. And that's totally normal. That's all they perceive. You're just turning away so that you don't look at the card and they show it to other friends. So you want to make sure that you don't peek at it, right? So proceeding, you have your left hand in this following fashion. Okay. So basically, this flap can just be kind of dangling over here. Okay. I just want to talk a little more in detail in terms of the hand positioning, the finger positioning, to make it easier for you to not prematurely have the flap, execute. Basically, remember the preparation. I basically just took this like this, okay? Now, a quick thing I want to mention is that you want to make sure you are peeling the right layer, which is the first layer over here. you don't want to pull the second one like this, because then you'll see the face of the card, which is not good. Just the top layer, and it's not that hard. You're just simply peeling it like this and stretching it all the way out like that. Now in terms of how I'm holding it in place, I'm just holding it with my thumb, kind of like a mechanic's grip, just like this. Have my index finger underneath, like so. Now I also like to have this kind of like doggy ears, this flap right over here, tucked in like so, and my thumb in the meat of it over here is just covering this red over here to make sure that I don't flash this on the side. Now this side is where you have to worry about a little bit in terms of the side, because it's red and apparently you're holding a blue deck. So make sure that when you're performing to people, you're just leaning over a little bit like this, or just front on, and making sure that you're not doing this. Okay. Now this you don't have to worry about, but this is basically the position you want to hold the deck in right now. When you say, all right, you got the card? All right, you come back into this position. So once they show it all their friends and they remember the card, what you're going to do is you're going to take back that card. You're going to say, all right, so you remember it, right? So once you take this card back, you're going to put it very fairly into the deck, just in the middle like this, okay? And you're going to say to them, all right, watch really carefully. This is when the magic's going to happen. I'm going to change the color of your card. Check this out. Actually, hold on a second. That would be too easy. In fact, you've probably seen that before. Instead, what I'm going to do, check this out. All right, it's going to happen. So you're basically getting ready to do the change now. Now, I want to talk about how you get into this position. You already know how the flap is, staying in position. You're basically having your fingers over here to keep it open, and also your thumb along the edge over here. But this card, okay, I'm just going to push it all the way back like over here. You're going to basically try and peel for the very top card over here, which will be fairly easy to do. You're basically just running your thumb over here. So it's easy to pick up the very top, and you're going to pull out. Now, of course, there's going to be some tension, because if I simply let go over here, it's going to want to retract back into the box. Just make sure that you're holding onto the top card like this, along with the rest of the deck, and you're pinching it on the edge like this, pulling it all the way out to this position. And how you hold it in place when you're letting go of your right hand so it's free is you're basically squeezing the box and the deck with your index finger under here that's being curled like this. Okay? So if I were to let go like that, on the other side, you'll notice that it wants to retract like this. So that's how you hold it in place. So I know what you must be thinking, Herman, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but it's actually not as hard as it seems. Basically, you're just holding this on the side of your thumb and also these fingers, and you're pinching it while you're pulling it out to about, this degree, so it looks very fair. You have a nice clean visual of a blue deck and a blue box, and you're holding it all in place again with your index finger curled. So I am applying pressure and pushing like so, okay? And once you have this nice visual, let's talk about angles. Now, in terms of your angles, as I mentioned before, you don't want to flash this. You don't want to see any red. You want to basically have it head on. So for this camera right over here, this is a spectator, I kind of want it basically like so. Now, you don't want it like this. This is not a very good visual. They're not going to be able to see the change very much. You want to tilt it as much as you can, but not to the point where the deck would just kind of like fall out from the box, okay? So about here is pretty good. And this hand is going to receive the deck. It's going to be ready to catch it. So you're going to be face on like this, hand over here, ready to do the change. You're going to say watch. Instead, I'm going to, boom, let the cards drop into your hand, let the flap do its work, and then the moment it hits your hand, you're going to spread the cards. So you have an amazing visual of the entire deck being red except for one blue card. Okay? So two things are going to happen. As I mentioned before, the flap is going to execute and the card is going to retract back into the box. Let's take it back one step, right over here. Take this out, boom. Make sure it's head on. Watch, instead, I'm going to change the entire deck like that. So now there's this very beautiful moment where they can see that the box itself is entirely red, and also the deck itself is entirely red too. And you can genuinely show that this deck box is actually red. And because of that blank card, they can kind of have a nice little peek inside that there's nothing inside and it's just completely white, and that's why it's blank. Okay? So this looks like a very fair box. that you can put away. Just toss it aside on the table or just put it in your back pocket so it's out of sight now. Because all you're left with right now is this curiosity as to what this blue card could be in this entirely red deck now. And you can have them simply pull out the card to reveal that it is their 4 of diamonds. So at this point, they're already freaking out from the visual wonder of this color change. It's a total brain-melting moment, but it's not over yet. There's actually one more phase to this. Because once they check this out and make sure it's really their card, what's going to happen is while they're doing that, you're going to grab a break underneath the top 2 cards. And now how you can do this is from a pinky count, or you can just simply push off 2 cards and then grab a break. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I'm just going to quickly run over it. All I'm doing is I'm just pushing off the 2 cards like so with my thumb, and then I'm feeling for the top 2 cards, okay? And then I'm making sure that my pinky goes underneath it so I have a break. Boom, like that. So now the flush of my pinky is just kind of keeping it in place, and there are 2 cards. And these 2 cards are the 4 of diamonds and the double back card, okay? So once I have that break, and they're checking out the card and making sure that it really is, their card, I'm gonna take it back and I'm gonna say, look, now it looks like the card is blue. In fact, it feels like the card is blue. But actually, this wouldn't work with my deck. I can't just have a blue card in a red deck. So we're gonna fix this. Now, when you do so, before you hand this off, a nice little subtlety is to actually show that the entire deck is red. So let me take it back from here, like this. You have a break, like this. Take that card, and say, watch, look at that. Now it looks like the card is blue, it feels like the card is blue, but it wouldn't work with an entirely red deck. I can't just have a blue card in there. So I'm gonna have you help me out with your imagination. Take out your hand, you're gonna push off the very top card, making sure you're not flashing anything else, like this. You're just going to take the top card, making sure not to show that it's red already. They think that they're holding on to the same blue 4 of diamonds. You're gonna ask them to sandwich it, whatever presentation, it's all up to you in terms of how you wanna build this up, but you're gonna say, watch, imagine that it's gonna change colors. You're gonna say, whatever it is, maybe a snap, maybe a magical gesture, and then watch. Check it out. It's still the 4 of diamonds, but turn it over. Boom, it's red. How amazing is that? So there's a second phase where their card changes to red, which can now be back on the deck to show that the entire deck is now red. And at this point, you can just clean up by putting the deck into the card case and then just putting it away, and that's it. And that is how you perform the effect. Now, another alternative cleanup I want to talk about is that while it is in their hand, you can always just palm off the top 2 cards, which is going to be the blue 4 of diamonds and also the double backer. So you can say, go ahead and check that out, palm the 2 cards, and then just palm it away because no attention is on your hand or anything at all. All they care about is what is happening to that 4 of diamonds now, which is now red. And at that point, you're completely clean. You have a 4 of diamonds and an entirely normal deck of red cards that you can go into your next card effect if you so wish. So those are your 2 ways of cleaning up. Now let's say that you want to be even more squeaky clean. Maybe you're feeling a little bit paranoid, maybe they'll want to see the box for whatever reason. Honestly, I don't believe that they will want to see the box because you had a very clean display of the red box already. But let's say that you're just a perfectionist and you want to make sure that you have an out. You can always have an additional red normal box just in your other pocket that you can bring out afterwards to put the rest of the deck in. Because let's say someone's like, oh, can I just check out the box? And you just be like, yeah, go ahead. And you just toss it over them. So you don't need to do that again, but you can. I just want to provide that option. Now, another thing is that let's say that you want to go into another effect and you don't want to palm cards. That's fine as well. Let me take it back one more step. So you have your card still over here, okay? And you can just put everything back into the card case, like I said, like that. Just put it away. And maybe they'll say, oh, show me one more trick. Or actually, you'll say, hold on a second, actually, do you want to see another one? No problem. And then it's almost like an afterthought. And you're gonna make sure that when you take out the cards, you're kind of omitting the top 2 cards, which is the double backer and the 4 of diamonds. So you can do so by just dumping it out, like so, and just kind of pushing off the top 2 cards back into the card case, and then just leaving you with this and then they will not see the cards in here, and you just pocket that out of the way, leaving you with a normal deck, omitting the double backer and the 4 of diamonds. So yeah, that's another option I want to provide for you. And yeah, you're gonna love performing this effect. Now, of course, if you don't want to perform this as a routine, as I mentioned before, let's say that you're in a situation where you want to just use this as an opener. You just want a nice visual surprise to establish yourself that you are amazing, or that you know what you're doing. Or maybe you're just doing this as a promo for Instagram or whatever it may be. It's a very, very powerful visual color change just on its own. So if you want to do that, just ignore all of the other things that went into the routine, and you can just have your deck set up like so. You can have an entirely normal red deck on you, like this. You can put it into your card case, like so. It can already be opened like so. You just got to reset this. And it can already be reset and in your pocket. It doesn't really matter. Or before you even approach your spectators, you can already have this in your hand. Doesn't really matter. So when you're approaching your spectators, you already want this in its reset position, so it's ready to close like this. So you're implying that it is a blue deck before you go up to them. So you approach your spectators. Hey, do you want to see something cool? Let me show you something with this right over here. Now, actually, you know what? I think that I like red more. Or depending on your presentation, maybe you're saying, you know what? This color doesn't match with my shoes. Maybe you're already wearing red shoes. Or you see your spectator is wearing red, and you're saying, all right, let's try something. Actually, you're wearing a really nice color over there. Let me just take that red over there, and then you can throw it, and then do the change on its own. And that's a very, very powerful opener that immediately is eye-popping and gets their attention right away before you proceed with the rest of your card routine. So that is how you perform it as an opener. So guys, that is everything you need to know in order to perform Shadeshift. Whether it's a full routine or just a visual color change, it is such a powerful effect that you're gonna love performing. So guys, I just want to leave you guys with a few final thoughts before we wrap this all up. Just some tips for you to take away, and I hope that will help you. First off is the gimmick itself. When you're actually working with the gimmick, just make sure that when you are putting it into its reset position, into its blue position, like so, you don't want to just open it up like that. As you can see, that's not ideal if I just rush through it. You kind of want to pick up the layer, make sure you're picking up the right layer, and just work it over like that. Okay? So you're just going back and forth a little bit. And it doesn't take that much more time, but it'll help you secure it in place. Okay? So just pick it up like that. Okay? Because again, if you just try and rush through it, it'll just do something that looks like this. Oh, it works, but not all the time. You want to play it safe, guys. So just work it like this, stretching it out so it's in a secure fashion. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is also crowd management. In terms of crowd control, I was talking about your angles earlier. You don't want anyone on this side, because when you're holding the deck, they're going to see the red because it's not covered by the pad of your thumb or along the side over here or covered by the flaps over here. You want to make sure that it is straight on, and even a little bit to the left is okay. So performing to about 3 people or so is your ideal situation. Now let's say that you're in a situation where there are more people. That's fine as well. Just make sure that they're in front of you and just say, oh, you're not gonna be able to see anything over there. Just go ahead and just move, stand next to them and to make sure that they don't miss anything. And you want everyone to have the best visual as possible, and that's basically your justification, however you wanna word it. Make sure they're all standing in front of you as a group. So that's in terms of the amount of people and also the angles. The last thing is, of course, practice makes perfect, or at least close to perfect. You want to make sure that you do practice as much as you can in front of a mirror. Make sure that everything is very natural. Yeah, just watch for your angles, basically. That's the one thing you want to watch out for. And it may feel a little bit awkward to hold the deck in its reset position before you execute the trick. So make sure that that feels comfortable before you actually go out and take this out and perform this. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I really have for you guys. You're gonna have a lot of fun performing this effect, especially when you're practicing it as well in front of a mirror. It's just like visually stunning, even for yourself. Yeah, you're gonna love this. So that's everything I got to say about Shadeshift. As usual, stay in touch with us on our social media platforms or our mailing list. Whether it's our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Make sure that you stay in the loop so that you don't miss out on any of our usual offers, because we got a lot of cool offers, and also some amazing releases that you don't want to miss. And that's it, guys. That's Shadeshift. Again, my name is Herman. I'll see you guys next time.